Stephen Benvesisti, attorney, 20 years ago, was run down by a drunk driver on spring break in Daytona, Florida. Amazing how he survived this. You should see some of the pictures of this guy in a hospital bed. We welcome back to the show Stephen Benvesisti. How you doing, Steve-O?
Good morning, and thank you for having me on the show today.
You bet, man. So the website for you is springbreakbook.com. I want to point people in that direction. Springbreakbook.com. Stephen is available to your school, your group, Boy Scouts, whatever. Invite them to come on over and talk to the gang, talk to the kids about the dangers of drunk driving. Dude, in all these years that we've been sending out the warnings concerning drunk driving, are the laws against repeat drunk drivers, are they getting tougher, or is it working?
Well, what's important is they're becoming more effective. Getting tougher is important, but becoming more effective is really what matters. And 24 years ago, when I was on spring break and a drunk driver crashed into me while I was walking, I was knocked unconscious. I was in a coma for almost 2 weeks. I had catastrophic injuries. I remained in the hospital for six months. My family was asked to donate my organs.
Jeez.
And when I had a full and complete recovery from all of those injuries, that's why I wrote the book Spring Break, A True Story of Hope and Determination, and that's why I've been fighting drunk driving since that time. And as far as whether the laws are becoming tougher, what I'm grateful for is they're becoming a lot more effective, and let me tell you why. There's a device that's been invented called an ignition interlock device. Mm-hmm. That's essentially a breathalyzer that's put in the cars of convicted drunk drivers. Laws like that are in virtually all of the states throughout the country, and essentially what it means is that if you're convicted of drunk driving, and if the law in the state allows you to then be sentenced by the judge to an additional punishment of having an ignition interlock device put in your car, that means your car won't start if you've had too much to drink. So I'm grateful that those laws are there because the statistics have effectively shown that those devices in cars prevent crashes and prevent fatalities. And that's really what it's all about.
Attorney Stephen Benvesisti, and survivor of a DWI accident, our guest on 710 KURV.
Yeah, Steve, Tim Sullivan here. How far should the law go? I mean, here in Texas, lawmakers meet every 2 years, and every 2 years they debate roadside checkpoints, the random roadside sobriety checkpoints. It hasn't passed because of Fourth Amendment concerns, but do you agree with those kinds of laws?
I do, simply because it's a privilege. It's not a right to operate a motor vehicle. And every time a law goes into place, whether it's roadside checkpoints, whether it's lowering the blood alcohol content to operate a motor vehicle, statistically in every single state, all of a sudden you see fatalities decreasing, you see lives being saved, and that's really what it's all about. And with regard to that ignition interlock device, that's only put in the automobiles of drunk drivers who've already been convicted. Mm-hmm. So that's really what's important. They will not be a repeat offender. They've already proven that they cannot follow the law. And by putting these devices into their automobiles, now they definitely can't, because that device will prevent them from doing that.
How widespread is that practice right now?
Well, it's virtually in every state. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get it as part of the punishment for every single convicted drunk driver. Believe it or not, when this device is introduced in a state for purposes of implementing it into the law, there's resistance that's met. Yeah. And the resistance essentially states that it should not be in the cars of convicted drunk drivers. How about if they're convicted 2 times or 3 times? So in many states, you only get that device installed in your car if you have 2 drunk driving convictions. Some states have it, if you're convicted even once, you get that device installed in your car. And what do you know? Those states have seen almost a 50% drop in their drunk driving fatalities.
Yeah, strike really one, that's all you need.
Yeah, some might say that should be the application every time, but I would suspect that these devices are expensive.
Well, the expense is the expense of the drunk drivers, and the same drunk
that's
drivers
true. That's true.
who found the funds necessary to hire attorneys to defend them in court,
the
same drunk drivers who found the funds necessary to get drunk that evening, there should be a consequence. And it's not a consequence that punishes. The goal of that particular consequence is really to save lives, and it's been working. So what a wonderful device.
Hey, man, did that guy that ran you over, did he ever apologize for the accident?
He did. Not only did he not apologize, he and his passenger switched places, and that was pretty heartbreaking. So, no, he really tried to get away with it, and he really, in a way, he really did. But my focus after...
Whatever happened to that person? Just curious.
Not much. I was some spring breaker from another state. The laws 24 years ago weren't written as well as they're written now. my family, really was by my side, just praying that I would survive and praying that I would have a full recovery from these horrible brain injuries and catastrophic orthopedic injuries that I had. So the focus was really on me. And once I attained my full and complete recovery, I didn't want to have anger towards the drunk driver. I certainly don't have forgiveness. What I really wanted to do was I wanted to put my efforts towards preventing these drunk driving crashes from happening. And preventing other people from going.
Yeah, you were. I understand you were on a path to become a surgeon, going to medical school, but eventually you wound up as an attorney. I'm very sorry for that. That tragedy. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It was clear after this happened to me, I needed to become an attorney.
The 10-4. I hear you. Hey, again, the websites to hook up with them is springbreakbook.com. Springbreakbook.com. You're still doing the speaking circuit, right?
I speak all over the place.
All right, man.
In Texas, I speak in every state, yeah.
Have a safe holiday weekend. Thanks for joining us today, Steve. We'll keep in touch. Steve Benvesisti, attorney, joining us on 710 KURV.